See, when it comes to the spirit of fear, you have to preach to yourself. You can't be mouse quiet. You got to open up your mouth and you got to talk to that spirit. You got to open up to your mouth and you got to preach to yourself. You got to tell yourself, this ain't the will of God for me to be thinking like this. This ain't the will of God for me to be talking like this. It ain't the will of God for me to be doing this. God is with me, and if the whole world is against me, if all the odds are stacked against me, it's still going to happen, because that's what God said. And God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. If God said you were going in, you're going in. If God said you will possess it, you will possess it. Whatever God said, if you believe it, if you walk therein, if you possess it, if you have positive confession, if you decree a thing, God is able to do whatever you are able to open up your mouth and decree. It is my year, it is my time, it is my season. You see, you got to talk to yourself. In the midst of battling the spirit of fear, I used to preach to myself and say, boy, this type thinking ain't going to get it. Do you know in its original sin, man don't own nothing? How can man own it when he can't even control the breath that is within him? If God took the breath out of man, naked he came in this world and naked he shall return. You didn't come here with nothing, and when you leave, you ain't leaving with nothing, because it belongs unto my God. And at any time, God can shift. He can take something from the wicked and give it unto the just. And folks say it ain't fair. No, favor ain't fair, because we don't serve a fair God. We serve a just. No excuses for being fearful. No excuses anymore for being afraid, for being timid. Can't allow it. Because listen to me, in our day and time, man is pushing fear, because fear sells. Fear moves people. One way the rich stay rich is by oppressing the poor or causing them to be fearful. See, we live in a time now to where even saints are controlled by a spirit of fear. Instead of them knowing that their God is in control, saints are shaken in our day and time. But see, let me tell you, no matter what happened, no matter what go down, God is yet in control. Y'all better listen. If it remains the United States, he's in control. But if it turns to be in the North American Union, he's still in control. If it remains the north, south, east, and west, he in control. Or if it turns into the NWO, New World Order, he's still in control. Whether Ebola or AIDS is spreading, he's still in control. Whether it's a natural disease plaguing the land or something made up in a laboratory by a man, God is still in control. I wish you helped me preach that. Tell your neighbor, whatever going on all around you, God is still in control. If the stock market rises or if it crashes, God is in control. If the American dollar is no longer the #1 world currency, if the dollar crashes, God is still in control. If our enemies attack us, God is still in control. The terrorists are not in control. You better stop allowing fear mongers to scare you. You better not be so worried about the terrorists overseas. You better be more concerned about the terrorists next door. Don't allow folk to scare you. Don't allow folk to take advantage of you. Our God is yet in control. Why should I fear? Tribulation, mark of the beast. God is yet in control. That's the reason we don't fear. Why? Our God is sovereign. Our God reigns. End of the world don't scare us. End times don't scare us. As believers, the Bible said you should look up. You should hasten the last day. You should hasten the end time. Why? Because it's going to work out for you, child of God. Oh, you better give God a praise for that. The sinner need to be scared. The backslider need to be scared. But the righteous should be rejoicing because our God is in control. Earthquakes, wars, and rumors of wars. I'm not afraid. The big brother system, not afraid. Why? I recognize who is sovereign. And some of you that listen to me, you've been reading stuff that's been affecting you. You've been listening to people and they're affecting you. But as a child of God, you are to withstand the spirit of fear. Boy, I know I'm talking to some folk right now. All this alien nonsense. Come on here. This stuff don't scare me. I don't know about these folks on my left. These folks are mouse quiet. Like, Pastor, I ain't talking against no. We basically, if I be honest, live in a country that is now controlled by fear. Fear is what's driving our country. One attack basically changed the way people would live forever. Change the way they shop, change the way we travel. You going on such and such. I ain't getting in no plane. Devil is a lie. They hijacked them planes. But you know, and it's just my opinion, but it's easier to hijack a car than it is a plane. Because you're going to hijack a plane, at least you got to be up here now. You'd be surprised how folk are fearful of doing certain things. Scared of certain people. See a particular race, scared of them. Get nervous. Oh, I am preaching right up in there. Don't let 3 or 4 foreigners get in the elevator with some of us. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get off on here. Thank you. Y'all laughing, but the spirit of fear ain't nothing to play with. Because listen to me, when you open up a door for the spirit of fear, it's going to try to control you in every area of your life. We live in a time now folk can get to sneezing. Some of these man-made diseases created in a laboratory to control folk mind. And now some folk taking some of everything. You gotta be careful what you listen to. One day they telling you eat this. Then you look on the channel and they saying don't eat that. One minute it's the bird flu, then it's the swine flu. This stuff real. And the only thing it's doing is controlling people. That's really no matter where I'm at. Before I eat, I'm going to bless my food. You pick at me all day. I don't care if I'm at a steakhouse or a seafood place. It don't matter. I'm going to bless my food before I partake. Y'all act like I'm talking strange. And when I eat, not worried. Not worried. Come on, as a disciple, God got you covered. You ain't leaving here until God gets finished with you. But mess around and become fearful. There's a doctor right now that's about to be sued. Let me show you what he did. How folk play on fear. This man basically was so evil, so demonic, that he told people that they had cancer. Allowed them to go through chemo and everything. Now they're coming back, redoing all of his case history. And they're finding out that the people who went 6 months to a year going through chemo never had cancer. Never had it. Why did they submit to that pastor? Spirit of fear told them they're going to leave here. When you got a spirit of fear, you will receive from a man that you have something that God has not even confirmed that you battling it.